This is the cap of a hummingbird feeder, but I keep a hummingbird feeder along with the lily garden. This attracts the hummingbirds, and if you do have lily beetle, the hummingbird loves red, and we know that the lily beetle, it's a bright orange, almost looks like red, so they will eat the lily beetle out of your garden. So keep a hummingbird feeder around your lily garden. Well, it's 4 days after frost, and very important part that I want to show you. All of these plants that are in here, don't be tempted to pull them out. No matter what, even if, taking off my gloves, even if it's a small plant, back over there where I had all the marigold, I pulled them out by the root. But if you're wanting to plant other plants in the lily garden, do not pull these out by the root. Just simply cut them off. And in the spring, you'll be able to take care of the root. So that's all you do. And leave that. Now, reason being, if you were to pull this out by the root, what's going to happen is you're going to have a huge clump, and if there's any lily beetle that is just below the surface, what you're doing is when you're pulling it out, it's going to leave a void, and the lily beetle can fall even further into your soil. So avoid that. I know that I had to dig some plants out. I had no choice. Like the dahlia, I really had no choice. I had to pull the bulb out. But when I was pulling the bulb out, and back over here there was a bulb. When I pulled it out, I actually went through the soil to make sure when I put soil back in the hole that there were no lily beetle inside. So I know the soil is fine, but you don't want to do that with every single plant. So best just to cut them out and deal with the root in the spring. Now that I've cleared out the garden, the next thing to do, just take a rake, any rake that you've got, and lightly rake the garden. Do not go aggressive, just a nice light raking. And I want to show you something, because here we go. Right there. Is this? You've got lily beetle in there. So that's why nice light raking. And right now, because it's maybe about +6 outside, those lily beetle aren't gonna fly away, run away. So continue doing a nice light raking. And then there's one more step after this. Now that you've done the light raking, here is the next step. Okay, again, I've got a nice metal and wooden rake. And here we go again. We've got another lily beetle. I'm just going to show you. Here we go. See how slow it's moving? This is what's going to happen when you do a nice light raking and in cooler temperatures. Once frost hits, they're not flying, they're not moving fast, but they are just under the surface. So get rid of any lily beetle that you see, and this is a good way to do it. And then the next step, to ensure that you've got those deep-rooted lily beetle, here we go. Now that the light raking is done, you're going to do a nice, really aggressive, deep, heavy raking. And as you're doing this, watch the soil and make sure, because I thought I seen another lily beetle. Okay, guess I was a little bit too aggressive there. Okay, here we go again. keep going. And then once you're done that, come back the other way and just watch out for the lily beetle. Okay, let's go back the other way. And I'm gonna move around the soil a bit because this is where they're sitting, is on this level. And move around this way. And that's not a lily beetle, so that's a good sign. Okay. Okay, so now that I've really aggressively raked this area, let's take a look. Because if you had any lily beetle, you've actually raked them away. And this is how your garden is going to sit for the whole winter. Do not put nothing on it, keep it bare. If you want, and a little warmer temperatures arrive, then come back and do another aggressive rake. That pile right there, I'm going to sift through it. No lily beetle. I'm going to throw it back into this garden. And you are now ready for the winter. And when snow comes, just pile lots of snow onto your lily garden. Do not put any straw, do not put any hay, because you've just provided a nice winter's bed for the lily beetle, and this is what we want to avoid. So you want to keep your garden stripped, bare, rake aggressive. You ever wonder how to bring a pepper plant in the house for the winter? Right now it's +9, we've had frost, but this plant, the Carolina Reaper, the hottest pepper in the world, is right now in my starter greenhouse. It grew in a pot all summer long, and I am going to show you how you can actually take these into the house, have them survive, because this one was in my house last winter, and then it was put into the back in the garden and grew all summer long, produced a lot of pepper, and now second winter it's going to be in the house. So a couple of things that I want to show you is, if you notice right here, you're going to have, and that's the one thing that people don't want, is the bugs in the house. And right now, there's quite a few bugs on it. Leaves are nice and shiny. So I am going to show you how to prepare this plant and make sure that it survives all winter long, and you're not going to have a single bug in the house when you bring this in.